Hey there, welcome back to Mantic Stringworks. So today on the workbench we have this. So what is this, you might ask? Well, it's not a spider, it's not an alien, it's a travel guitar, Minimaster Rockstar. All these crazy attachments here, pretty neat. Single P90 pickup too, interesting. So the owners dropped it off because the truss rod isn't working, and I suspect there's a few other things that are not working. So I've never seen this before. Curious how this goes together, if we can fix it. So if the truss rod isn't working, well then that's it. We stop there, and we'll see what we can do. But we'll have a look at it too. It's kind of a cool design. Okay, well. So how does this work here, right? So these little arms can be removed, and this would replicate like the body. And you need a spot to put your straps on. There you go. And then there's this other little arm, which I'm assuming goes in here somewhere and lets you do these all just come out. Lets you maybe put it on your knee, I guess. There we go. Yeah, and this is threaded, so when you push it through, you can thread it on. So it's all, collapsible, and it comes with a little case. And there you go. So you're basically just left with a neck. And the pickup right here. There's a volume and tone control. So interesting choice, a P90 too, eh? That's kind of interesting. The neck actually, surprisingly, feels quite good. It had a little bit of fret sprout on it, but it's solid, like it's solid maple. Doesn't feel that bad. Just missing the body. Alright, so the problem with this travel guitar is the truss rod, so let's have a peek at that. Okay, so the owner is saying that the truss rod doesn't work, and when I have a peek at it, it sort of looks like it might be rusted. Hard to tell. I'm not sure what the steel or metal is that it's made of. I did test it. It is a 4mm, so just trying to find the right 4mm to get in there. And I don't want to strip anything out, of course. I think what I'll do is I'll loosen the strings so I can get at it better. Ooh, yeah, these are pretty cheap tuners. They don't feel very good at all. Do this one. So the D and the G, we'll just loosen those up. Come on. Wow, these don't work well at all. Is this even turning? There we go. Now it's turning. I almost had like a full turn before it started moving. Okay, let's bring this out, that out. Okay, got a little more room now, so let me get this 4mm Allen wrench in there. Again, I don't want to strip it out if I'm really going to try and force it. That would be nice to be able to just get it in there. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's in. Okay, so I want to loosen this up. So as you're looking at it, right? Righty tighty, lefty loosey, so counterclockwise. So I'm really going to hold this down. Let's see what happens here. Oh boy, that is not going. You can see my wrench is bending, I think. Let's try that again. I don't want to snap anything, of course. Oh, okay. That looks like it might be seized in there. He did say it did work at some point. Don't know when exactly. So I did notice that it's got a strange sort of setup here. There's a truss rod cover, if you will, and then the nut sits on top of it, just sort of floating around. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this off so I think we'll be able to see the truss rod nut better. there's 4 screws. 2 of them are down, 2 are right sunk in down, and 2 are not. This is really interesting design. Not sure why you'd have a nut floating on top of a metal plate. Maybe it was glued on at some point and the glue has failed. That could be. Look at that, see? Ooh, things are moving. Okay, let me loosen this so I can take it off. Okay, I've just loosened the strings enough. I think I should be able to get this off. Maybe a little more. Yeah, we already had a broken string. The first string was broken. Yeah, this tuner is not the best. I think we can get these off here. Wow. I have to keep turning. Okay. Close. There we go. Okay. And there's the nut. Just sitting on top of a piece of metal. That's not the best way to do that. Okay. Okay, got that off. All right. That's what that looks like. So that's interesting. Not even sure. I assume it's metal. Try a magnet. Yep. So, okay. At least it's metal. It's not some weird ceramic or something. Let's try that truss rod again. Now that we've got everything out of the way. It's hard to get in. It's odd. Okay, come on. Ooh, there we go. Okay, now that I can see it, it's actually moving a little bit. I wonder if I just start fiddling with it, if it'll start to, you know, I suspect there's corrosion going on, so the nut itself has corroded around the threads of the rod, of the truss rod. That's what I suspect. So that's why it's sort of stuck like that. And normally I wouldn't put any oil or like a anti-rust or rust-free sort of a WD-40 or something in there, but we might have to do that. Give it a try, you know. Not going to any heroic measures with this little guitar, but you know, see if maybe a little bit of lubrication will help that up. Because this is unusual, and I was just trying to use the light to see down there, I couldn't really see. I just want to make sure that there's actually like a washer, right, that it's bearing against. And I think if I take this little peg here and I push it down, yeah, it's stopping. It's stopping, here, I'll make a mark with a pencil. There we go. So it's stopping about 5/8 of an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch in. Yeah, so it's definitely got a bearing surface. Okay, well that's good. And again, it could have, this truss rod nut might have actually corroded onto that bearing surface. So I think we are going to have to try some oil in there. Okay, well I've got some WD-40 here, and like I said, I don't normally do this. But I think in this case, I'll spray a little bit down. Not too much, just a little bit. There we go. And I'll put a little bit inside there. And I'll elevate this, you know, in an upwards position like that. And just let it soak in for 20 minutes or so. Give it another little shot. and just move it around a little bit. And we'll let that sit, and I'll put in the vise in an elevated position, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, I've got it in the vise. So we'll let it soak in there for 15-20 minutes and see what happens. Okay, well, I've got this in the vise, and I put some WD-40 in there, a couple of shots, let it sit overnight. Actually, it's been 2 days, and this is a 4mm wrench. Let's give it a try. It's in there nice and firm, so I want to loosen it, so we're going to go counterclockwise. I just feel that if I really push any harder than that, let's try and tighten it. No, it's just gonna snap right off. So I'm kind of thinking that we basically have a case of the nut here. Truss rod nut is just rusted, corroded right onto the threads of the rod, and it's just not going to come off. I mean, it's not going to come off without any crazy efforts here, and I really don't want to snap it. Oh yeah, I mean, I can't even get that going. Okay, well, I think we're going to leave it like that. I'll talk to the owner of this little travel guitar. Just one last thing, I want to check, there's a little cover here. I don't know what it's covering, to be honest. So I am curious. I know this cover, there's some controls here, right? There's an input jack and a volume tone control on this side. But this little cover, maybe you can access the truss rod somehow? I don't know. We shall find out. Just 4 little like pickguard screws. I have no idea what's there. This plastic material still has the pickguard material still has the plastic cover now. Okay, I think I got that out. Oh, this one wants to hang on. There we go. Well, great mystery solved. There's absolutely nothing. It's just wood. Alright, let me put that one on, and I'll put that back on, call the owner, and tell him we're out of luck this time. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Alright, in the famous words of Kenny Rogers, you gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Alright, see you guys.